Welcome to my channel. These stories are scary, so viewer discretion is advised. 3 disturbing true neighbor horror stories. Number 1, the disappearing son. I've lived in a few different places throughout my life, but the most interesting neighbor story comes from the house I grew up in. There was this one guy who lived across the street from us. His name was Charles. 5 years ago, his son went missing. The police never found any remains or anything, so we always assumed that he was just kidnapped or something. Anyway, fast forward to last summer. I was outside and I saw Charles digging a pretty large hole in his backyard. I thought it was weird, but whatever. A few days later, I was out walking my dog and I went into his backyard to use the shovel to dig up some of my tennis balls that had gone over the fence. As I was digging, I saw a black garbage bag at the bottom of the hole. I didn't think much of it, so I just put the balls in my bag and left. The next morning, I looked over, and that hole was completely patched up like it never even existed. And Charles acted like he didn't even know me when I asked him about it. I haven't seen him since. Number 2, the troubled brothers. I moved out of my parents' house almost 10 years ago, but I still have recurring nightmares about those goddamn brothers. We'll call them Eric and Todd. Eric was 27 and Todd was 25. They were skin and bones, always seemed to be high as kites. They lived next door to us in this duplex type thing. When I was 16, Todd invited me and my younger brother to go shoot BB guns by the river with him and his brother. Of course, being the annoying little shit that I was, I said, yeah, sure. But I told my mom, don't let my brother come, because I knew that there was no way that she would have allowed it anyway. So my brother was super pissed. We got to the woods and they pulled out these huge pistols, the kind that you see in old Western movies. They said that they were just BB guns, but they looked real, so I was skeptical. Then Todd turned around and handed one to my brother. That's when I realized they were real guns. I started screaming at them that we needed to leave. Then Todd said, "No, you guys are staying here for dinner." Then he stuck the gun in his mouth and pulled the trigger. It was a blank round, but it scared the living shit out of me. From then on, I hated those two fuckers. For months after that, I would wake up to them staring at me through my window. One night, they broke my window and shot at me with a rock. Then Todd stuck his head in and yelled, "You're next," while aiming a pistol at me. I dove out of the way and he shot the wall above my bed. After that, I don't think they ever came out of that house again. Number 3, the dangerous neighbor. I have 2 neighbors. One is fine, but the other one is absolutely insane. She's an elderly woman who lives alone. Her daughter dropped her off a few years back and never came back for her. According to the neighbor, the mother had a nervous breakdown and killed several animals in the neighborhood. Now she's too mentally ill to know where she is half the time. Last week I was woken up in the middle of the night to what sounded like screams in the forest. I got up and went to the bathroom, and that's when I heard what sounded like heavy footsteps near my front door. I came out of the bathroom and there she was standing at the foot of my bed. I don't want to sound like an asshole, but she looks like a wild person. Her hair was a tangled mess. She had dirt all over her clothes and she smelled horrible. I started screaming for my girlfriend, who thankfully was in the other room. I ran out of the room and locked the door while calling the police. They took her in for the night and gave her a checkup, but besides from a few scratches, she was all right. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I can't sleep and I'm afraid to go to sleep. I'm thinking about moving. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe for more content. See you next time.